It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across the USA and around the world. That includes the Arctic Circle, North Pole, Santa's Village. We are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara.
All of his reindeer were female, by the way. True story. They had to be. Males lose their antlers in the winter. They all had antlers. Female retain theirs.
There was also that debate going on about the reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, about their personality?
About whether Santa treated the reindeer right or, and then they were bringing up the fact on social media that, reindeers aren't human beings.
Right.
But then it came in, but those reindeers were sentient beings.
Yeah.
There was a difference here between that. So how should you have treated it? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I still remember when that first came on. I'm still questioning how the Burl Ives snowman could ride that razor blade down that snow hill.
Yeah. I think that was just in the commercial. Yeah.
That's what I said, the commercial.
Yeah. Oh, in the commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, it would have been weird product placement for him to ride the razor in the actual show.
Hold on there.
Yeah. What's Cornelius?
Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose.
No.
Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius. Yeah. With his ice pick.
By the way, that sort of completes the week where you and I have done references to early 70s songs.
Well, go back to that post wherever that was and, did Santa treat and just remind everyone, well, they had to have been female reindeer. And throw that in to see where it goes. Because then the conversation about Santa treating them badly takes a whole new turn.
Oh, that's right.
You're going to introduce a fact into the equation for consideration. And, yeah, it's about, that. But
so was Rudolph the only male? Or was it just like a...
Rudolph on the show was voiced by a female.
Or is that just like a boy named Sue kind of thing?
Hard to know.
A Johnny Cash song.
Because Rudolph was young.
Oh, okay.
The young don't shed their antlers, so we don't know yet.
I did see the meme.
They don't have much of antlers to shed.
I did see the meme this week on social media. There's Rudolph, from that show, the animated show, with the big red nose. And then remember Operation? With the big red nose
that would light up.
Yeah,
if you
and
made a
Rudolph
mistake.
goes,
Yeah.
"Hi, Dad."
That's fun.
All right, but here's our Christmas gift to you. One last Joe Biden audio cut.
All right,
because this is our last show of the year.
Yeah, right.
So, and it's about EVs. So it's the last Joe Biden audio cut for the year. Here with Eric and Gary on Red Eye Radio. And it's on EVs.
Yeah, right.
And it's got everything, including the creepy voice.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right. But by the way, the new Corvette is coming out electric, 0 to 60, 2.9 seconds.
You going to drive that one?
I'm going to give it a shot. But by the way, the new Corvette is coming out electric, 0 to 60, 2.9 seconds.
You going to drive that one?
I'm going to give it a shot. But by the way, the new Corvette is coming out electric, 0 to 60, 2.9 seconds.
You going to drive that one?
I'm going to give it a shot.
I get it. I don't know why, but it seems like to get the full effect, you have to play it 3 times. That's his interview with Conan O'Brien this week.
It's just
creepy.
Weird.
It is.
What's with the whispering thing?
I have no idea.
I don't get it.
No. And
by the way, like he's telling you a secret?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, over here. Dude, are you smelling my hair right now?
I still think that main story on the EVs, where now they're reconsidering it, having a vote, to have a California-like law, because the storms wiped out so much of the grid. And some Democrats thought, oh, wait a minute. Before we decide to go entirely an electric fleet, well, we just realized that if a storm like this happens, nobody can get anywhere.
Yeah. Hey, well, how will we charge them? I mean, it's like they're just learning what they've been trying to promote.
Oh, you have to tell everybody what you told me. I didn't hear the story, the cruise ship story.
No, there was talk about a battery-powered cruise ship. Some engineers chimed in and said, do you understand the incredible, unbelievable risk for fire and how bad that fire would be?
How many?
Don't ever get on that cruise ship.
So it would be all battery powered.
Yeah.
Would they have? I guess I don't know where you put the solar panels.
There would. I'm certain there would have to be.
Is it a hybrid?
Some kind of backup.
Okay.
I mean, there's no. Oh man. No. Well, there it is. Now, one of them has already made a maiden voyage, but I think this was on a grander scale. World's largest electric cruise ship makes maiden voyage in China with a whopping 7,500 kilowatt hour in battery powering the whole thing. There's no way you can power this thing without it being, well, the setup that they're doing for rail, which is the motor actually, it only exists not to drive anything, but only to charge the battery. They're actually looking at that in a couple of the OEMs are looking at that in a new form of hybrid technology for trucks. So you have a motor that doesn't power the wheels in the case of a truck.
Right.
It only charges the battery.
Right.
But it wouldn't be, it would still be running, though. It's not the on and off type hybrid exchange of power that you see in the hybrids that are on the road now. Okay. I got to learn more about this.
Yeah, I want to
cruise ship thing.
Yeah, I want to find out more about the cruise ship, because you and I, we were very interested when they started talking about the new technology of the wind-powered cargo ships.
Okay, so this one in China is only sightseeing. The one that they're talking about, because it's always this unicorn, well, if we did this in the planning stages. So a sightseeing thing is you're only going to go out for a few hours. You're coming back. This one is primarily on the Yangtze River. It's 100% electric. Yeah, I hope you guys have oars somewhere on.
I mean, it's all lithium batteries.
It has to be.
There's no motor to charge it. No backup.
This article doesn't mention it, but that doesn't mean it isn't the case.
Remember, they're building a whole new kind of cruise ship now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're giving cruises now, for example, on the Columbia River.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't the same kind of cruise ships. They're much, much smaller.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. The one in China,
right?
Is
as you said,
only
right.
It's a sightseeing thing. It's not. I don't consider that to be a cruise ship.
And they're going to do that in the Great Lakes, but not in the wintertime.
Yeah. Of course.
It may not be able to get through the...
Not when it would count.
Well, but here's my question. Isn't weight important on boats?
Yeah.
I mean, how much extra weight?
Well, I mean,
you have to have limited range. You cannot have one of those mega cruise ships all battery powered.
Okay, well, let's throw this in the mix from earlier this year. Here's the headline from CNN Travel. An electric cruise ship with gigantic solar sails is set to launch in 2030. Not anytime soon. Solar sails. Okay. Remember the wind-powered, not cruise ship, but
Cargo ship. I just mentioned that, yeah.
That we talked about. Yeah, this is.
Do they have a picture? I'm trying to look at. Okay, there's the picture.
Of the wind-powered one? Or
no, of the solar.
The solar one.
Zero emission that relies on wind
yeah.
and solar power.
Yeah. It won't be going very far. It's a one-day cruise.
Okay, the vessel will be electric and equipped with batteries that will be charged with renewable energy when in port.
That's the solar sails will be charging it in port.
They will also be powered by retractable sails covered in solar panels. By the way, it looks like a much smaller ship.
Yeah, I can't get a grasp
much smaller ship.
On what the capacity is for. It says.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
So it says it'll have a range, get this, a range of 300 to 350 nautical miles, meaning that during an 11-day round trip, one liner would have to charge around 7 or 8 times.
Right.
Well,
these would have a maximum capacity of 500.
Mm-hmm.
So, much smaller ship.
Yeah.
How many people are on those new? Because they've got some new ones out there. Well, they got 5,000.
Oh, on the actual cruise ships? I mean, a real cruise?
The real, the actual real cruise ships.
Yeah. Where you're not nervous? Yeah.
The not nervous cruise ships.
Yeah. The ones where you don't sweat. The ones where you don't feel like you have to wear your life jacket the whole time. You mean that one? The ones where you bring on your own fire extinguisher? You mean that one? Or don't bring on your own fire extinguisher?
So this new electric cruise ship that has been named the Titanic 2.
The never gonna set sail.
All right. What's the next question if they're building it? Are there government subsidies for this?
Well, the one I'm seeing, you mean the one that they're planning here in the U.S.?
No, the one that I was looking at there.
Okay.
Well, any of them that they're planning.
The one here from the CNN article is in Norway.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, they, I'm sure they have their hand out. Yeah. I'm sure they'd love it. I don't know if there's political will.
So they can make it with subsidies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to say it yet unless I know they got subsidies.
Right. Yeah. Well, look, they're not. I would guess that on a new type of ship, the curiosity at first would be to the extent that it would drive and support short-term a higher price for booking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they don't have the capacity means it's going to be more expensive anyway. Isn't that what they said about the Titanic? Everybody wanted to be on the first one? Yeah, probably not me. I'm going to wait for a while on that. Call me in 2045. Yeah. No, it's, look, when it comes down to it, this is the world that we live in. You know, your cruise ship is basically, I got a zero emissions boat. Some call it a kayak. I get it.
No, you're actually producing because you're breathing in order to make that thing run. So as we found out this week with the
trolling motor.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kayak. I thought you might be rowing.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like a chump? Not rowing. Pedaling, actually, in the kayak is typically what you do. I mean, rowing if your foot pedals aren't working. But actually, the new ones have little engines on them.
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what a waste
Motors.
of time this is talking about it, but it's really happening. So
It's happening.
I know, that's the thing.
This is the ridiculous nature of it all. Curiosity will drive the beginning of anything in terms of new technology. When it comes to innovation, we are curious. The question is, what's the demand? What's the actual demand? And, the cruise industry it's a different kind of, we're talking about a totally different kind of vehicle, means of transportation. It's not about getting A to B. It's about the experience. So to that extent, there will be a different type of curiosity. And that point may actually mean that it lasts longer, that the drive to be on it, the demand to get on that ship at least once.
I did see this. So taxpayer dollars, Michigan launches grant program to promote electric boats on the Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, subsidies are going into it already.
Yeah. And
because that's my point. Is this something that's being driven by the private sector? Is this purely something that comes from the government sector and it's a public-private partnership? I'll do some research. That's something I can do research on over Christmas vacation.
The concepts are very interesting, and there's a few different concepts that are out there. And the ones that are being talked about on the big ones, sorry, you're just not going to get there. You know what it takes to power that size of a boat.
Oh.
You're not going to get there.
86690 Red Eye.
This morning's USDA Farm Report is brought to you by House Products. Tested, trusted, guaranteed since 1920.
Most of us associate this time of year with, sleigh bells or jingle bells, but some of our farmers associate it with, even if they haven't used a cowbell in 30 years. Of course, we're talking about our dairy producers, some of which have been told more than once they were crazy to get into the dairy business in the first place.
Sometimes I think I'm crazy.
Ken Smith, dairyman from Remington, Virginia, he says Christmas Day around his place is actually crazy, or to use his word,
fragmented. You get about 6 hours with your family, and the rest of the help get about 6 hours. And everybody comes together to make sure the work gets done.
Work. The cows have to be milked and fed on Christmas Day, just like any other day. So on Christmas Day, in order to let the Smith family have some time and the other workers to have part of the day also,
we have to reach out and help everybody else.
That's the spirit. But Ken may get a really rare, important gift this year after 40 years in the business.
We're really close to the break-even point.
Right.
Crazy.
Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Washington.
This report brought to you by Cenex Fuels and Lubes.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. It's time for the final Gaslight Before Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. Gaslighting before Christmas. Here we go. Karine Jean-Pierre yesterday.
And what we're seeing here at the border, the migration flow, increased migration flow, certainly it ebbs and flows. And we're at a time of the year where we're seeing more at the border. And it's not unusual.
What's going on at the border is not unusual.
Yeah.
And again, gaslighting is when she's lying and the reporters there in the room know she's lying. The people surrounding her, John Kirby next to her, he knows she's lying. The people watching on TV know she's lying. We know she's lying. You know she's lying. She knows that everybody knows she's lying, and she lies anyhow.
Yep, and states it as an obvious fact and that you're blind for not seeing what she just lied about.
Exactly.
Walking in a winter wonderland. Gary and Eric on Red Eye Radio.
And Make sure you download our Red Eye Radio app today. You can listen when and where you want if you can't listen live overnight. Merry Christmas, everybody. Well, as we know, and I saw that it's been a tough season for people buying gifts.
Yeah.
And so we decided to look here, doing our due diligence here, to make sure we give you all the information of anything surrounding inflation and the holidays.
Right.
And therefore, this was released, and I'm sorry we didn't cover this important thing about a week ago when this came out, because some of the media had it. Well, this one actually it was originally published on December 1st at USA Today.
Okay.
How much is the 12 Days of Christmas going to cost this year as opposed to last year?
All right.
The total for everything, $46,730.
No.
Specifically, a partridge in a pear tree, $319, up 13.9% from last year when a partridge in a pear tree was $280. Now, how did they figure that out? What a partridge costs? Can you buy a partridge? They had to look at what a pear tree costs, right? Is it just the pear tree? Is it planting the pear tree on your property? You would think that planting a pear tree on your property, just that alone, is going to cost $319.
Can you buy the partridge without the pear tree?
That would be another question. Meanwhile, 2 turtle doves, $750. That was the biggest inflation. 2 turtle doves, 25% more than last year. $750 as opposed to $600 last year. But then again, you get to 3 French hens. Now, two turtle doves skyrocketed.
Yeah.
3 French hens only went up 3.5% over the last year, from $319 last year to $330 this year.
And don't buy the knockoff French hens, the ones that are actually from Denmark.
Well, you might want to, you could substitute the 4 calling birds if you wish to save some money for the French hens, because they came in at $600 and it was the same, 0% inflation on calling birds.
There's lower demand for calling birds.
I guess so.
It's just kind of run its course.
Well, supply and demand, I've never seen a calling bird. Then again, I've never seen 3 French hens.
Yeah.
Well, then, to be honest with you, I've never seen 2 turtle doves or a partridge in a pear tree. 5 golden rings. So what, gold hasn't gone up? They say it's the same as last year.
That's not true. If they're saying golden as in color, that's one thing. If they're saying golden as in actual gold,
okay.
I think it has gone up since last year.
Yeah. Now, the important thing is now the 6 geese a lane.
Now, here we go.
$780, up from $720 last year, up 8.3%.
Yeah.
7 swans. That's a tongue twister. 7 swans a swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you don't want the walking swans. You want the ones that are swimming. The walking swans? Yeah.
7 swans a swimming.
Yeah. How much?
$13,125, but no inflation from last year. None. Now, here's the one that I would dispute. 8 maids a milking.
Well,
they say would only cost $58.
Yeah.
Do they need to unionize?
And
does Starbucks have to get their union to the 8 maids a milking? 8 maids a milking, $58. How did they come up with that? I mean, that's not a living wage.
I hope they're not trying to substitute soy milk. Cutting back on the work.
Well, the maids are a milking. You don't have, apparently, technology doing it because there's maids a doing it. That means they have to
they
work.
Say they're doing it.
All right.
Quiet quitting maids. That's the problem. They're not putting in the work.
Oh, they're doing it remotely.
8 maids buying some milk.
9 ladies dancing?
Well,
$8,308.
No, Hunter said it's a lot higher.
No, we're not. We're not talking lap dancing.
Oh!
Yeah, we're talking regular dancing.
Oh, okay. Well, then my research is deeply flawed.
Yes, deeply, deeply flawed. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, well,
wait a minute. How can 9 ladies dancing cost you $8,308, but 8 maids of milking $58? I'm calling bogus on this.
Or it is, the type of dancing that Hunter prefers.
Now, 10 lords a leaping.
Well, here we go.
$14,539. You know why? You know why that's more than 9 ladies dancing and 8 maids of milking? Wage inequity. Males get paid more.
True story.
11 pipers piping.
Oh, well,
That was only $3,207. Actually, 9 ladies dancing make more money than 11 pipers piping. So, again, that isn't gender inequality.
well, it is
Because the pipers,
assuming it's male pipers.
they show all the pipers as being men. Now, again, is that gender stereotyping?
Now, pipers need to unionize. They need to get it together.
And finally, 12 drummers drumming.
All right.
$3,468. It
Really?
costs up 6.2% from last year. The grand total, $46,730. Overall prices did increase. Several gifts had no change. Oh, they haven't counted shipping costs. High shipping and packaging prices that haven't decreased since the pandemic are still limiting the ease from shopping at home. The total cost of buying all 12 items online comes to $52. Wait a minute. How do you ship humans? Comes to $52,024, which is 4.8% more than 2022.
Well, the humans have to be on a bus or on a plane. So there's that.
And what about,
Tony writes this, by the way. I'm glad I bought my 2 turtle doves last year and froze them. Tony, you're a smart man. Thank you. And Merry Christmas. Thank you. That's a great idea. Wish I would have thought about it. But here I am, like a chump, paying more. Yeah.
This is really interesting that I'm looking at, they have the graph going all the way back to 1984.
Yeah.
Did you know, like in 2019, it was $38,993 to buy everything. Then 2020, everything crashed to $16,000.
Ah.
So it's gone back up drastically.
Wow. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, but you don't want the turtle doves from 2020. Not the same. You could have saved some money, but not the same. It's just not the same.
Getting back to the last political thing here that I want to discuss, because I want to it's like, okay, it's the White House is done with their gaslighting. So, and I just saw it yesterday. Did you see that now they're thinking that Manchin is seriously considering running for president?
Well, good luck. It's not going to go anywhere. I don't. There will be maybe a little bit of fundraising, a few donors here and there. Sorry.
Does anybody have Manchin in the race? I don't think so, do they?
No. I don't think so. Wait, did someone put a hypothetical?
I haven't seen it.
I don't think they did.
Now I'm looking at Real Clear Politics now, all the different polling out there.
Well, look, you have to ask yourself, well, first of all, if there were a real calling, it's the same with Liz Cheney.
Oh.
You'll know when there's a real calling for Manchin or Cheney to run, because they'll already have announced it before December 22nd. I mean, they still haven't announced it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're not going to be talking about it, whether or not they're thinking about it on December 22nd, the year before. The point being is, well, you go back to Hillary, 2004. Remember when, there was okay, so Bush reelected 2004, and in 2004, people were saying, look, Hillary needs to run, and then beyond 2004. Hillary needs to run, well, I don't know. And then boom, in 2008, she ran. She didn't get the nomination, but she ran, and it was that one of those things that built up. Well, tell me who's calling for Joe Manchin to run. It might be that the No Labels Party right now is so desperate to have just a candidate.
I forgot about No Labels.
That they're calling him every day, please, please. But the people aren't calling on Joe Manchin.
But he's taking positions.
Yeah, now that he's not running for Senate again.
Joe was like, the other day, he was close the borders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can No Labels have a candidate
who
who
I see
says
what you're saying.
Close the borders?
Well, here's the problem. As soon as you have a candidate, you're going to start having labels.
And it's No Labels.
Right.
By the way, I'd love this here. I just went to the No Labels website to see if anything's changed. And there it is, donate to No Labels. I want to donate to them because they're the kind of political party that I wish to support. They stand for nothing.
Yeah. I don't like labels. What if you're just a person that hates labels in general? You've been against labels your entire life. You don't like labels on products. You don't like labels. You're just anti-label.
I can't find on their website platform.
There's not one. You know why?
We checked about a month ago.
Because when you put your platform out, then from that point on, you have a label. Yeah, not going to work.
Yeah, common sense solutions, but they won't tell you what. Because you would think, that they would take, because if I was going to form a new political party, I'd simply say, where do 70% of Americans agree on? Right?
Yeah.
You take those issues, you pound them, here's where we stand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they haven't done that.
No. Well, because then they would be, again, subject to a label. That's the way it's going to come down. They're going to be called left or right. Moderate means nothing. Independent really means nothing when you formed a party.
Right.
Well, we're in it. Well, there's already technically, those who are independent. So where do you go on it? Well, you're going to have to take a position as a party. We don't want to take a position. All right, bye.
God, how childish.
No, I mean, it's
from the very beginning, it's been so childish.
It's
as if by not taking positions, they are virtue signaling. We stand for nothing. We're better than you.
Well, can you imagine showing up as a kid back in the day, showing up for a game of grope football? Used to be called touch football, but clearly now.
Where the hell are you going on
had,
this? My God.
Used to be called touch football. You got to call it what it is now.
Okay. Now it makes
sense.
sense.
And then you say,
I
don't want to be on either team, but I want to play. We don't need a ref. In that case, see, in a game like that, a ref is just a snitch.
866-90 Red Eye.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Eric, have a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Gary, and my best to your family and your dad.
Thanks.
And
Same
again,
to you and your family, your
share everything with your dad about the fact that he basically has contributed to the show all these years. the wisdom of John McNamara, which is a big part of the show, and we thank him for that.
Thanks to all of our great listeners.
It's just been amazing throughout the show this morning. So many well wishes and Merry Christmases coming across to all of you. Thank you, because we can't do it without you folks, and we thank you. We thank all of our great sponsors. But a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you as well.
Brian and Alan are great
Brian
staff.
and Alan, just the best production staff on the planet.
Well,
yeah, well, they're listening right now. I mean,
I forgot.
We'll talk. We'll do some real talk on the way to the car.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Happy
Christmas,
New Year,
everybody. Enjoy it.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.